Okay, so I want to make this video for our clients who are asked to do fasting. So I think it's important that you're not just fasting, but you know why you're fasting and you know why it's good for your body. So first I want to talk about what it is that we're actually cleansing from our bodies when we fast. So in Ayurveda, there's a very broad term called ama. And ama is the definition of ama is that which has not been digested. And the Western equivalent to this word is toxin. So you can associate the two words together. Ama is basically like the end product of poorly digested food that hasn't been turned into bodily tissue, and it also hasn't been expelled from your body as waste. So it's instead stored in your body, anywhere in your body, in between cells or between cells. And I like to think of it as like a sticky plaque that's just like blocking the channels of your body, which start to create an imbalance, which can lead to a disease. Okay, so some examples of ama could be like undigested proteins that are seeping through the lining of your gastrointestinal tract, or like waste that's backing up and getting stuck in your lymph or in your colon. So in Ayurveda, ama is basically like the root cause of all disease. So some signs that you might have ama. One, if you're here because you have a disorder or a disease, that means that you have ama. But I also want to mention that you can still have ama and not have a disease. So some examples of ama could be like if you wake up in the morning and you are already starting to engage in negative thought patterns, or you're just like completely overwhelmed, those are signs of ama. Those are signs of mental ama. If you wake up in the morning and you're feeling like stiff, or you have like body aches, or your joints are hurting, or you just have like general aches and pains, or you feel heavy or lethargic, like that's ama. And a lot of us think that that's aging and that's like a part of getting old, but really that's an accumulation of ama. And over time, if you're never releasing it from your body and it's accumulating, you might think that this is getting old, but it's really just an accumulation of toxins that you're holding on to. Okay? So, some other signs of ama. If you wake up in the morning and you go walk in your bathroom and you look at your tongue and you have a thick coating in your tongue, whether it's white coating or yellow or whatever color it is, that's ama. Okay, ama loves to show up on your tongue. If you look at your eyes and maybe they're like kind of yellow or gray, or they're not white, that's ama showing up in your eyes. Ama can basically show up in any system of your body and affect any system in a negative way. Okay, so like your skin, if you have acne or eczema, or just like your skin's not clear, you have all these flare-ups, that's ama coming out through your skin. Or like if you have body odor, like really bad body odor, like your armpits smell really bad, or your farts smell really bad, or your breath is stinky, that's also signs of ama. So a lot of us are living with ama, and naturally we create ama all the time, every day and every moment. The problem is that we don't actually allow ourselves to release the ama. So sometimes it starts to accumulate and cause issues. So how do we accumulate ama? There's several ways that we can accumulate ama. From having a bad diet. That's a huge obvious one. If you just have a bad diet, if you're just eating bad foods all the time, or your digestion isn't strong and you're not able to digest the foods that you're eating, that's going to create ama. Eating a lot of processed foods or bad food combinations that are too heavy and complicated to digest, that is going to help create ama. Having just like a detrimental lifestyle, like you're always stressed out, that's definitely going to create ama. Or if you are too sedentary and you don't have adequate exercise every day, that's going to help you accumulate ama. Sleeping after meals or not sleeping enough, unresolved emotions and not dealing with your emotions, that's going to help create ama as well. So I want to I want to talk about why cleansing is important, okay? Cleansing is important because we want to get rid of ama and we want to clear it out of our system. And by not eating, we actually give our bodies the opportunity to digest what hasn't been digested, okay? We're able to focus on this waste that has been stored in our bodies for so long, that's been taking up space and blocking our channels, and also blocking intelligence. And by intelligence, I'm talking about like cosmic intelligence, the intelligence of our consciousness that enables us to function and communicate effectively and in an integrated way as humans. Okay? So it's important, super important, to get rid of this ama so that our bodies can start working the way they're designed to work. Okay? So how fasting works. Actually, I love this. In 2017, the Nobel Prize for Medicine went to Dr. Osumi, who did research on autophagy. And autophagy is the eating of the self. So it's actually like when our bodies gobble up these damaged cells and tissues within itself. And Ayurveda actually recognized this thousands of years ago. Just wanted to say that. But okay, so our bodies have these genes that naturally help our physiology clean out, scrape out, and detox these old proteins, these old cancer-causing chemicals, or like infected cells or viruses. So when we're not eating, our body will naturally start to engage in this process. Okay? And if we are eating all the time, which most of us are eating way too much, then we really need to. If we are always eating and we're not ever really giving ourselves a break, then our body actually never engages in this process, and then we start to accumulate toxins. Okay? So when we're taking periods of time to not eat at all, our body can start to burn up, focus on this ama, and move it out of the system. So next I want to talk about like what to expect from cleansing, like what you should expect and what's normal when you start fasting. So first I want to say that our bodies are actually naturally designed to engage in long periods of famine, like long periods without eating. And I know this sounds kind of crazy, and while you're fasting and you think you're about to starve to death, you might think that this is not true, but I want you to know you're fully capable of it, and it's actually good for you, okay? So during a cleanse, our bodies will naturally shift into fat metabolism, it'll naturally shift into autophagy, and then we start to burn up and move this ama out of the system. And you'll start to notice that the signs of ama will become more noticeable. So, for example, when ama is mixed with like any excretory product of the body, such as your sweat or your urine or your stools or your saliva, it will start to create a foul smell and a foul odor. So you might start to notice more unpleasant smells as you're cleansing, and that's normal. Just bring an extra deodorant with you to work if you have to, or bring a toothbrush. You can brush your teeth if your breath starts getting stinky. Just know that this is normal, and it's all a good thing. Another thing, ama is sticky, and it doesn't want to move. So as it starts to come out of your body, it's going to start to mix in with your stools, and you might start to notice that you're a little constipated. And this might alarm you and make you think that the cleansing isn't working, but it's actually a sign that it is working. So don't get discouraged if that happens. And with ama being sticky, it can also clog your pores. And as a result, you might have a little bit of acne or blackheads or just like blemishes on your face. And I know it's not fun and it doesn't look great, but These are all also a good sign. Okay, so one other thing is that ama makes you tired, and as you start to cleanse, you might start to notice that you're more tired or more lethargic, or you feel more heavy, like you're wading through water, or maybe you feel like you want a massage. And just allow yourself to get plenty of rest, but at the same time, also make sure that you're incorporating movement in your day and you're going on a walk or just stretching your body to get your lymph stimulated so that it can help move this ama out. Okay? The last thing I want to talk about is mental ama. So it's important that you know that Ayurveda, being a holistic system, it recognizes that as you start cleansing your body, you inevitably start cleansing your mind and your emotions as well. Okay, so we don't just accumulate physical toxins. We also carry mental ama as well. Mental toxins are anything that go on in the day that you didn't fully digest and absorb. Okay, so if you wake up in the morning and you already immediately feel overwhelmed, like you can't handle the day, that's a clear sign that you didn't digest what happened yesterday. Or like if you are ready to go to bed at night and you're tossing and turning and you can't fall asleep because you have racing thoughts or anxiety or you're worried about something or you're frustrated, that's a sign that you're carrying mental ama. Okay, so as you're fasting, you start to notice that you might start feeling emotionally overwhelmed. And this is going to be a time where you can actually start to notice these unconscious thought patterns that you've been having for a long period of time. Okay, and a lot of the times we tend to hide our stress so that we don't have to deal with it and we don't have to react to it. And sometimes we do this by eating, like emotionally eating, or like spending long periods of time on the television or on the computer or on our phone, or like drinking alcohol or smoking or doing drugs. And when we don't process our emotional experiences, then we're creating mental toxins, okay? And while we're fasting, the point is to not engage in these things like emotional eating, overstimulation, doing drugs, and drinking alcohol. So that's why it can get really frustrating when you're cleansing and all these emotional traumas or all these old things that you've pushed aside for so long, they start to bubble up to the surface and you don't have these opportunities to eat or to get on your phone or to drink, okay? So it's important that you find a different outlet and a different way to cleanse your mind. And in Ayurveda, a wonderful hygienic process for cleaning our minds and this mental gunk is meditation. Meditation is silencing your mind. It's important because we're always incessantly thinking about something. And this actually, it affects our physiology when we're always engaging in thoughts, especially if we're engaging in negative thoughts. It affects how our body's working. And we all know this. We all know that stress affects our physiology, okay? Meditation has an enormous effect on being able to address the subtle toxicity that you're holding on to. And it's a crucial process for the elimination of mental and emotional waste. So in this, not in this video, but I want to provide another video to follow up with this one that will give you a guided meditation so that you can become familiar with it and you can start to use this as a tool during your cleansing. I want to just go ahead and conclude this video by saying that the point of cleansing is to clear out this ama so that our bodies can start working effectively again like they're supposed to and that they're designed to do. And as a result from this, we're actually able to start acting from a place of connectivity and a place of greater connectivity. And we're able to consciously make better choices for ourselves and choices that are more in alignment with who we want to become and choices that support us and our dharmas and our greater desires and our dreams and our aspirations. So I wish you the best during your cleansing, and if you have any questions or you need the emotional support, please, you know that you can always contact me or Manish, and that's what we're here for. Okay? Thank you for listening.